If you want to get started with crypto and make crazy gains over the next couple of years, which crypto should you buy? Well, in this video, I'm going to tell you guys about some of the altcoins I think will perform the best. I think a lot of these coins can go from good to absolutely beast mode. And please understand, I am not affiliated with any of these projects. This is my own honest opinion. And even though I've been in crypto for a decade, I may be wrong. But I personally think if you do some research into any one of the coins I will talk about today, you'd probably come to the same conclusion as I've gotten to right now. And actually, since we're talking about altcoins, I decided to dress in the proper attire, with a crypto bathing robe. I think that works the best. Anyway, as a start, I'm going to tell you that if you want to get a full list of almost every single crypto that is out there, I'd recommend either CoinMarketCap, a website called Live Coin Watch, or a website called CoinGecko. All have their own advantages and disadvantages, but a lot of people ask which platform are you using to view all these crypto prices. Another suggestion I'd quickly give is if you're looking to see the price action in more detail, it's a website called TradingView. I'll leave a link down below, but this is a place where you can basically do your analysis on every single one of the altcoins on its own. So now let us discuss exactly which coins I think are going to do well over the next couple of years. As that's the basic principle here. If you're asking me, Dusty, which altcoin should I buy right now to get massive gains tomorrow? I tell you, that's as good as trying to pick the lottery because hundreds of new coins are created every single day. You can see over on the top left, it says there are 1.8 million plus cryptos out there right now. I don't think that's fully correct. The list only tracks about 9,500, and that's because the last couple of years, there have been many people that are just creating tokens out of thin air with no substance except for just marketing. And they can create 10, 20, 40,000 tokens a day because it takes very little money and very little effort to do so. And so if you've ever heard about a meme coin, right? It takes about 10, 20 minutes to set one up. And any single one of those could go up 1,000% in a day. It could. But that's like literally picking the lottery. We're here for the longer term game. We're in it to win it, but win it big. And so what we look at is projects with substance that can last throughout time. That if I look back now in a year or a couple of years, damn, will they have gotten some good partnerships. Damn, will they have gotten far. And the price, the price is always a mystery. But I do believe with proper fundamentals, they should inevitably, with time, go up. But again, that is just my personal opinion, not financial advice, because anything can happen in the crypto space. You can't lose all your money. I just want to make that really clear. And also, guys, if you've not done it yet, make sure you go ahead and press the like button on this video. You've got nothing to lose, a lot to win. So make sure you go ahead and press that button, and let's talk about it. So in this list, there are many different cryptos that I hodl. I'd say that the majority of cryptos here, I have some tokens of. That's because usually somebody suggested in my comment section or I see some good part in it. I can literally scroll for a while and I will not find a coin that I have $0 into. But there's a difference between having, $1 or two, or let's just call it a little bit of money inside one of these projects versus allocating a significant portion of my portfolio to any single one of these coins. And that's where I have to explain to you guys about categories. In the crypto space, you've got different coins that solve different problems. You've got different tokens connected with different sort of ventures and ideas. You've got coins that are focusing only on gaming, or in the DeFi space, decentralized exchange space, payment space, only store of value, being like gold, like store of value, like I just said. You've got coins that are on a certain platform. You've got tokens that are associated with a certain platform. You got these layer 2 type of coins. You got so much. You've got meme type of tokens, and you can see right here, you've got NFT type of tokens. You've got all these different categories. AI nowadays, metaverse, or roll up. And I'd say if you want to make the most amount of money possible, what you're going to have to look for is the moment that the massive bull market returns, which could very well be in a couple of months from now, as that's historically what's happened, we think. A lot of us basically believe in this idea of the halving cycle where every once in a while Bitcoin rewards half, and for that reason, it's pretty simple actually. If the demand over the supply is the price, and the supply, it goes for a halving, right? So the supply comes half as quick, so it goes down significantly, but the demand stays either the same or, as time progresses, goes up partially. Either would be fine, because in any one of these cases, the price goes up. You can't see it perfectly, but the idea hopefully is quite clear. That the price, if supply were to go down or demand go up, or supply down and demand up, that the price would go up. And basically, the majority of the money are going to be on the trend that exists at the time. Every single bull market has some specific narrative that's the big trend where the majority of the money is going to be made. And all we can do right now is either focus on fundamental coins that we think would do good regardless of any trend, or try to predict the next trend. If we're talking about predicting the next big trend, I'm personally thinking two main things, which are things built upon the most trendy ecosystem at the time. I personally think there's a good chance it's going to be base, or perhaps things built on the most institutionally backed layer ones like a Sui or an Aptos. Now, again, to take a step back, Base has no token. It's Coinbase's layer 2, Coinbase's platform they built on top of Ethereum, where again, other tokens can be launched upon. Coca-Cola just announced the NFTs on there, and there could be many cool things coming up onto Base as they're gonna have good connections and push for it a lot. So I'd say as a number one suggestion, as a new trend, I'm thinking that could be it. And on the secondary side, I'm thinking, well, perhaps just some of these layer ones that have gotten a lot of institutional adoption, like an Aptos and like a Sui. I think perhaps, again, due to connections, those are going to be what's going to pop off next run. And perhaps since Aptos and Sui both have their own coin, they could be in the clear for some crazy gains. Aptos just had a nice, juicy partnership with Microsoft. Hopefully you guys have seen about it. And another side note to that is a lot of these coins were, well, being developed or talked about in a bear market. And it's just an interesting proposal or question as to how they do in the massive bull market. I'd say an additional one to look in for is SEI, S-E-I. I think the launch is going to be terrible because the valuation is so high. And it's, again, mostly institutional backed. But over a longer term, there's a lot of potential in that. And there's where I got to quickly intervene again to say the only negative side with institutional backed coins is that they usually have a little bit of a curve where the tokens get released to these institutional investors. And so right now, if you're buying it right now, you're basically buying up tokens that they are in massive amounts of profit on. And so if we're not in more of a bullish market, I'd say the price kind of trickles down, especially at some major hikes like the 1 year milestone, etc. Because at that point, a lot of these investors, early investors, get a lot of tokens. But in a massive bull market with the connections that they've got, these could do really well. One thing I'm looking into a lot is now XRP and Bitcoin for the purpose of safety. If we're looking at the US, XRP is the only properly regulated crypto, and Bitcoin's gotten some okay regulatory certainty. Every other crypto in there, though, is in for some trouble. Stablecoins are not necessarily safe. We've seen all the trouble with USDT. Ethereum is not safe because they literally had investment contracts in the past like Ripple, so it's just a matter of time before they get some sort of lawsuit or some sort of trouble, I think. And even though I'm extremely bullish on Ethereum over the longer term, so am I for Cardano and all these others, over the short term, there might be some regulatory troubles still that make it not worth buying too much of right now. That being said, I already am a big holder of them, so I'm just not buying that much more right now. Whereas with XRP and Bitcoin, I think they're in better positions right now for regulatory purposes. And so as we just said, we had one sector, which is the next run, right? I'm thinking base tokens built on there that we don't know of yet could be popping off a significant bunch as they're going to be the fundamental builders, right? We're like still at the start of the start. Base just launched. Or major layer ones, their coins and things built on top. Because if you go for like some of the first ones, massive gains to follow, I think. Then as a sideline, we said, well, perhaps in the regulatory clarity field, Bitcoin XRP are safer, or perhaps Stellar, as it's very similar to XRP, but did not get the clarity that it got. So there could be another spike coming up as it gets a proper declaration. But on a complete side note, I'm thinking more of the fundamental pieces of crypto, like oracles, like Chainlink, or perhaps cryptos with some of the best partnerships out there, like HBAR. If you do not know, HBAR's token just jumped after the Federal Reserve said it will use a Hedera-based payment service, and FTX founder Sam Bankman-Fried went to prison. But mostly that first part is pretty huge. Hedera has been breaking a lot of records quite recently. And again, as a baseline, you've got to understand that what I do most of the time, right, is I go through this list. And I've done this years ago, but I still have to do it now. Look for some of the new contenders, some that popped up or some that I don't understand fully. Click on them, go to this little about section, read about what they do, what they try to solve. Look for some of the partnerships that they've got and see whether or not it's something I want to be involved with. Did I want to hold? Because I believe only that way can you fully understand the decision that you're making. So just to give a quick little summary here, the base ecosystem, Sui and Aptos and their ecosystems, Layer 0 and Chainlink. I didn't say too much about Layer 0 because there's not really too much out there. But I'd say from a fundamental perspective, these guys like Chainlink, Layer 0, and there are so many other ones. They're like changing the game. They're taking over. The only problem is, right, that's always a difficult one. Will the true utility actually show back in price? Or will it mostly just be the ones that are better at marketing? Which is why I'm always a little bit critical with showing you things that are truly built in an amazing fashion that are really wacky on the marketing field. A good example is IOTA. The way they've set themselves up is pretty freaking solid. Marketing-wise, I don't think they do the best of jobs. Perhaps it's also because some of the ones that are best made are most difficult to understand, where a coin like XRP that's, revolutionizing the payment space. Pretty simple to understand. Or a coin that's, going to become the best store of value. Simple mission. Or hey, we want to make sure we're a platform that everybody builds on top of. It's easy. But usually when they're about interoperability, making sure the system works well together, becoming the glue of sorts of a system, it's harder to explain to people why that's so exciting. Because there's not really one or two words you can give it. And you've got to understand the ecosystem properly to understand just how important the glue is. There's no DeFi without Chainlink. Literally the way we know crypto does not exist without Chainlink. Yet a lot of people in crypto never heard of it before. And my list, I'm going to be honest with you, is changing a lot because of guys at the SEC, because of Gary Gensler and their most recent remarks. Previously, I'd have such a different top. And I'd recommend such different coins to look into. For example, Algorand was one of my absolute favorite coins out there. And I'm still a big holder, I'm still a big fan, but with the way the SEC switched up on them, I'm thinking they could be in a lot of trouble over the short term. Do I think they'll survive? Yes. I think any coin that gets sued by the SEC, that's in the top of the top already, will most likely make it out fine, because the SEC does not even have the authority. That does not mean that it won't be an annoying couple of months, though, as they figure that stuff out. And so as of this point, I'm staying a little bit more away from coins that could be in an imminent lawsuit soon because of already previously standing allegations against them. Again, the SEC already complained about Algorand and about many other cryptos like Cardano, etc. So I'm staying away from them a little bit more than usual because I'm thinking the SEC might go for a hard sweep soon enough. However, if we're taking the span of a couple of years, a lot of the coins I usually have in my top 10 would still last. It's just that right now, they're not my main focus. But yeah, just wanted to give you guys a little update on my thoughts on the market right now. I still think that if we look back in about a year from now, the market will be up like crazy. And so in theory, almost anything you buy over that span will probably do well. But hey, that's just my opinion, just my thoughts. And hopefully I'll see you guys again in another crypto video later today or tomorrow, who knows. And make sure guys that you go ahead and press that like button. See you guys again in another one.